Hello everyone and welcome back to part 5 of the How to Draw a Horse in Coloured Pencil tutorial series here on my channel. So if you're just joining me now and you haven't started from the beginning, I'll link part 1 down below where you can go and start from the beginning with me. But other than that, as always, everything that you need to know is listed in the description box, the reference, the pencils, everything. So go and check that out if there's anything that you want to know. But other than that, let's get started. Okie dokie, so I'm going to start with the dark sepia 175 again, and I'm just going to map in some of the little bits of hair on the mane. Thank you for the lovely compliments about the mane as well. I had a lovely comment that said it looked better than the picture, so that's really nice, thank you. I do love drawing wispy fur like this. So I'm just mapping it in, just so that we don't lose it and then we can get rid of that outline. And we can add a lighter base colour, so just getting those main areas. There we go, and then we can just use our putty eraser or whatever eraser you're using, just get rid of that. And then I'm going to use the warm grey one 270 and just take that over the mane. That'll do, it's just a nice light coat of that. And then let's use the warm grey 4 273 just to add a little bit more detail in there. So again, I'm holding my pencil quite high up, then I can get a nice loose grip on it and it just gives that more natural, out of control look to the hair. Just building it up, adding a bit more here where it's really thick. Just building up the texture. Again, it's a little bit thicker here, so concentrating a bit more of that. Being very careful not to put my hand over the drawing that we've already done, so that I don't smudge it. Just resting it on the white paper. Okie dokie, then I'm going to use the dark sepia 175 again, and now just start to add a bit more depth, some darker hairs, and just again doing it quite wispy and squiggly, so I don't want it to look too perfect, it needs to look windswept. Bringing it down here, adding a bit of shading down there. And then let's do this bit. Then a little bit here. And then there's like a little bit comes around there a bit more. And I'm just going to blend the rest of it down this way. There we go. So now let's add a bit of black. 199, darken it up. And I'm a bit more selective with where I put the black. So I want to put it in the darkest areas. Blending it through. It's a lot darker on these left hand bits where they sort of curl round like this. There we go. And I'm just going to use a bit more of that Derwent Drawing Ivory Black, that second black that I used in the last video. If you don't have a second black to choose from, then just skip this bit, but I just like to add that little bit of extra depth. So again, just where it's really dark, I'm concentrating a little bit of this. I just add a little bit more around there. And definitely on this left hand side into some of these bits. A little bit at the bottom. A little bit that way. Yeah, if you don't have access to the Derwent drawing pencils, maybe a luminance, Caran d'Ache luminance black would work nicely. This one is my favourite for adding extra bits of black though. But yeah, usually just like a more wax based type of pencil works well. Okay, that looks nice. Right, back to our dark sepia now. So 175. I'm going to move on to the ear itself, this second ear. And I'm just going to map in the shape of the ear with that. A bit of a line down there. And then there's like a little bit of a line coming down there. And I'll just add that in there. Then I'm just going to go around this little bit here. So this rounded bit. And then this bit. And just show where that slightly darker bit is there. Okie dokie. And then let's use our base colour again, so our warm grey one, 270 and just go over that ear. Tidy it up a bit more if you need to with the eraser. I've got a few bits that I've not lifted off very well. There we go. Then I'm going to use the Burnt Ochre 187 and just add that orange tone. So just going over it, building that up. That'll do for now. Then let's use the Burnt Umber 280 and just start to add some depth. Start darkening it up. Just blending that in. Also just add that line back in there. The fur starts to come out from that line. Doing lots of little strokes to build it up. Just going to go this way a little bit. Just add a bit more of a line there. And I'm just going to darken up this little bit here. And then this little gap here. Building that up. Okie dokie. We're getting there. Let's do this side now. So again, I'm just blending it down from that line there. Blend it down. And then down here it sort of like starts to come down like this. So just gonna bring that down. and start blending from that edge. Just looking for the third direction all the time. It sort of comes round like this. And then it's blending it here. It's a bit lighter where that line is in the middle, so I'm sort of just going to blend it a bit up both sides so it's not harsh and it's a bit softer, but it stays a bit lighter just down there. I'm just going to keep building this up here. Hopefully my hand won't get in the way. I'm proper having to twist it round so that I don't mark my drawing. Okay, we're getting there with that now. Just going to do a few bits. It's coming off the edge there. There are some little fluffy bits just sticking off. Do a few here. Some teeny tiny little strokes just so that it's not like a solid line. And then let's just add a little bit to this top bit. Again, I'm going to just do some little strokes. Almost looks a bit cool on that bit there. We'll just leave it brown for now and we can always add a bit of something else afterwards. So I'm just going to fill that in a little bit more, and then let's go to the dark sepia 175. We'll darken it up and then we'll add some more red and stuff. So I'm going to start here where it's really dark and just build that up. Bringing it up here a bit, blend it into that top bit a little. And let's bring it just down there a little bit as well. And I'm just going to bring bit more of a line down that right hand side. I'll just do a few more little soft strokes just coming out that left side of the ear. And then I'm going to darken up from this line still, so just bring in those little strokes in. And I'm just going to do the bottom as well. Just darken that line up a little bit. Add some bits here. And then I'm going to just continue building it up. Just applying a bit more pressure just so I get it a bit darker. It's going to take me a little while just because of the angle of my hand. I don't have the same amount of wrist strength from this angle, but it's all good. And add a bit more around here. And start to bring it into the middle a bit as well, I think. A little bit around there. And then I'm going to do a bit on this right hand side, just build that up a little bit. A little bit more. Okay, and let's add some burnt sienna 283, get that nice rich red tone in there, blend that in. Looking better. Just going to blend it in at this rate, just try and build it up a bit more. And let's add a bit of black 199. Let's darken it up. Do a little bit up here. Darken up this left hand side. Just going to layer that up. Blending that in a bit. And add a little bit through that middle part next to that lighter line. Bit down here. Bit through here. And let's just do a little bit coming off that edge. And I'm just going to blend a little bit in. I think that should give us the tone that we're looking for. A little bit of black. It sort of fades into a bit of a grey colour. There we go. I wonder whether we need a bit of Walnut Brown. 177. Just like a little bit. It's that rich colour. Yeah, a little bit here. And I might just add a tiny bit more burnt sienna 283 just into this right ear because I feel like it needs a bit more red. Now that I'm looking at it again. Just blending it in. There we go. Okay, let's move on to this little section here. So I'm just going to use the burnt umber 280 and our eraser, and I'm just going to outline like where that white area is and sort of the edge of the face. So rather than outline, I shouldn't really say outline, I mean just like do some little strokes in different directions just to show where the white bit is. Like that, and I'm just going to add a bit more of a line here where that is. And then let's add the warm grey one, 270, as the base colour just over that section. Like that. And just Does it need a bit of burnt ochre? It doesn't look quite as orange as other bits of it have, so I'm wondering whether we add the burnt ochre afterwards, you know, like start adding the browns first and then see how it's looking. Yeah, we'll do that. Let's add a little bit of Nougat 178. I do kind of feel like it's a bit like, it's a bit more warm grey with a bit of brown and stuff, so yeah, I am going to try Nougat 178 just a little bit. And just going to start layering that up. Some little strokes. I'm just mapping in very lightly here, just of that nougat. Bringing a bit up here to blend into the rest of this bit. So yeah, it's a bit more, it has a bit more of a dull look to it, this area, so that's why I'm using the nougat, because I'm not wanting it to be super vibrant. Kind of just want it to look a bit more toned down, so yeah, there we go. That'll do for now. Let's use a bit of burnt umber 280, and I'm just going to start to add some more detail just in this little bit first. This little weird bit here. Just add a bit there. I'm just looking for where the darkest areas are. Like a darker bit there. This bit's a bit darker here. Just blend that in. Maybe soften it up just a little tiny bit. And then here, I'm going to start to just build that fur up. It does look quite purple, it's like very purple toned like that bit is, so I think we'll need some walnut brown as well. But we'll use the burnt umber first. It's a nice mixture of browns. Just building that up. Following the fur direction to make sure it looks right. It's a bit hard to see here, but I'm just gonna bring it down a bit here like that. So I'm just looking for the lighter areas. There's like a little lighter bit around here. So I'm just going to blend around that a little bit. And then bring it round here. Okay, just going to blend it out a bit more here. Then let's use the Walnut Brown 177 for that purple tone. I think this is what's going to like bring this section to life. Just going to start layering that up. Anywhere that looks a bit deeper, a bit more purple. Keep going over it to build it up. Bit more here. Let's darken that up a little bit. Add a little bit here. I'm just going to also darken this edge up a bit more, and then we can sort of blend in from that edge. Just got to keep building it up to get the level of richness that you want. more down here, I reckon. There we go. Okie dokie, now I'm going to use the Dark Sepia 175 again, and I'm just going to start to build up a bit more depth in this fur. Blend a bit down here. A little bit down here. I think definitely some on this little tiny bit here. Darken that up a little bit. I might just add a little bit at the top here. It's like a little bit of a line there. Just blend that in. And I think maybe we do need a little bit of warmth, so I'm just going to add a tiny bit of burnt ochre 187 just to warm it up a little bit. Blend it in a tiny bit around there, a little bit down here. Maybe a little bit more Walnut Brown 177. A little bit more up there, a bit more here, I reckon. Then maybe a tiny bit of burnt Sienna 283 just to add a little bit more of a red tone. Might just add a little bit more over this way. Like that. That is looking lovely. Let's just add a bit more warm grey 4 273. I feel like we now need to connect these bits. It's a bit of a gap there. I want it to look like it's sat behind the ear, so it needs to go right up to that bit. Then a bit more dark sepia 175. And a bit of black 199. Then I'm just going to do these little wispy bits that come sort of down from the ear. They do join that bit there, so just make sure it's tidy. I'm going to use the warm grey one, 270. And I'm just going to sort of like match it up just by going like this with my pencil and drawing an imaginary line. Then continuing down. A little bit there. Okay, then let's use the warm grey for 273 and just add a little bit more detail. Do some little bits flicking off. And a bit of dark sepia 175. Just going to add a tiny bit more there. Is there anything more annoying than when you're waiting for a delivery and you're literally in and then you get a text to say attempted delivery but you didn't see any cars? So annoying. I'm literally here. Blend a bit more of that down. I've probably added a bit more than there is on the picture. If need be, you can just soften it up with the eraser a little bit. Erasers are really good for blending as well as erasing, so I might just add a bit of black 199. Just a teeny tiny bit. And if need be, just add a little bit more. Just there. And I might just add a bit more warm grey 4 273 and just add a little bit more wispiness here. Might add a bit more here. Maybe a bit more dark sepia at 175. Bit more there. Maybe a little bit more here. And then I might just add a tiny bit more into the ear. Just to darken it up a little bit. Might need a bit of black, 199. Okie dokie. Maybe a tiny bit of the Derwent drawing black if you've got another black. I'm just going to add a little bit of that to this darkest area. Just to darken it up a tiny bit more. Maybe a little bit more into this one. A little bit more here. A bit more here. Little bit in there. Okay, then I think I'm gonna leave that part there for now. I feel like we've made some good progress and we can start moving down the face a little bit more next. So I hope you've enjoyed drawing this part with me. If you did, then please make sure to give the video a like because it really helps the channel out. Subscribe to see more tutorials like this and I'll see you in the next one. So bye for now.